Welcome to the Red Dwarf Podcast.
I am the Doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is safe. Run into the Master Raw, Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies of men. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a Dalek's baby.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH! Woohoo! I am one of your hosts. Just this once, guys. Everyone gets recorded. No one gets cut out.
Oh, that's so not true.
I'm Adam O'Sullivan. That's right. I will cut you out if you mess with me. I will cut you out of this.
Don't
episode.
diss the Adam.
Joining me as always, she's always executing Emergency Protocol 417. It's Nicchia Shoot.
And it's good to know what Emergency Protocol 417 will now get me.
A martini.
With too much vermouth.
What is it? It's a... What was that?
It was a martini. At the end where he says Emergency Protocol 417 and it's the martini with the too much vermouth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realised.
Yeah, there you
gotcha.
go. Did you watch the episode? Or?
The Star Trek?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Next Generation.
Love it.
Good.
Once again, we are joined by 2 guests. First up, what Chula doing wearing those nano jeans? It's Jemma Bayley.
Aww.
They are very small jeans.
These are...
I managed to work in the word Chula and nano jeans. Yes.
Very well done.
Thank you. And last but not least, Mummy, must be funny. It's Kira Jade.
Yay!
Welcome once again,
That's
guys.
a lot of pressure, though. I'm not that funny.
I think together we're Mum Jeans.
Oh, is that our band name?
That's our band name
Oh,
now. Yeah.
my.
And your Transformer name.
It's a band name because we've got like a band of elastic around the
Yeah,
top of the jeans.
elasticized
And we
jeans.
all like elasticized pants. In non-man-made cloth.
And yet I'm the only one at the table who needs elasticized pants. Great, fantastic. Let's start. Not Kira. Gemma.
Hi.
Gemma.
Hello,
Do
Gemma.
you want to go through your history with Doctor Who?
Oh, it's on and off. Like,
Oh, will
like,
they, won't they?
Will they, won't they? He's always says he's going to be there, and then you turn around
And then
he's
he takes
gone.
it, and then it takes a year off, and it's
Yeah.
not going to come back until 2020. Oh.
And suddenly I'm an old woman.
Yeah. And he comes back then.
And I throw the jewellery into the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go Rose. I don't know. I'm doing,
I
think for Titanic, and I
made
got
a
lost.
Rose reference, but realised it was not connected enough, and then I dropped it.
No.
Thank you for trying to pick it up.
Look,
though.
I did try, but
And then the
it even
Terminator
left me.
shows up, and you're like, which James Cameron movie am I in?
Oh my god!
Yeah, my history in Doctor Who. I think the first episode I watched was with my father and my sister are actually quite into Doctor Who.
Are they Hoovers?
They are
The
Hoovers.
Hoovers, yeah. Hoovers and
Or
Shakers.
Whovians in the real world.
Hoovers. Keep trying to correct it to the wrong thing. Really weird. No, they are Whovians. They would call themselves Whovians, and they
Obviously, good people.
good people, very good people. They introduced me into an episode which terrified me. The angels.
Blink.
I don't know what the.
It doesn't have the Doctor in a lot.
What happened was they were in catacombs, and there were all these
No.
that's
statues around, and they didn't realize at first that they were angels.
in Flesh and Stone with River Song.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
cool.
and River Song is
Yes.
the daughter.
The wife.
The wife.
Doctor's
yeah,
wife.
The Doctor's
there was
wife.
like, so there was a lot of stuff happening in the episode I didn't understand, but
Yeah.
all I remember is being terrified of these every time he turned around. They were
Oh, yeah,
coming
definitely.
closer. Yeah, so that was the episode I was introduced on. Matt Smith would be my doctor, I guess.
He's out of the new series. He's my doctor.
Yeah, he's quite
my babe.
lovely. I enjoy him and his weird squishy face.
I do too, and I also, we've done an episode about him, but I like the fact that he always had his eyes always looked old, even though his face looked young.
There was something going on behind
Yeah.
like he was showing a happy expression, but there was something going on behind his eyes,
But
which was
that's
kind
what
of...
Riversong says is the soul of a god in the body of a 12-year-old.
Yeah. That's possibly why I was picked for the part. But yeah, no, that's my history of
He's a
Doctor
great actor.
Who-ness.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's start as we always do with Doctor Who news. Now, last week we were talking about the Eubanks auction that featured a pair of the 10th Doctor's stuntman's
Was that
contest.
last week? God, only seems like
A couple of minutes ago before we got coffee, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to take some time discussing some of the other auctions, items at the auctions, most of which did actually sell. There are about 371 items in this auction, so strap in, guys. No, I could do a whole...
Oh, my God, he's going to do all
I could do a whole episode on
371.
these. I find this so interesting.
I want to hear a rap. Go, real quick.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the auction, yeah. Something that rhymes with auction, yeah.
We don't have any other option.
Option,
Ooh.
yeah. When you're going to talk about the doctor, everybody knows you're a proctor.
Ooh, it got good.
That got
That
good.
got good.
I didn't expect anything to come out of that. Glad
But
I did do an
Once
improvised
once you got
musical
into
on
the
weekend,
flow,
so-
he was
you
there.
really,
Once he got his groove on.
Oh, I have not got my
He
groove
never
on for a
takes
very
it
long-
off.
I know.
Yeah.
In fact, Adam, it's embarrassing. Take your
No one's
groove
let me
off
get my groove on
occasionally.
with them for a very long time. No, Beck got that. Fantastic. All right.
I did.
You know when Beck gets a joke, that's it, done.
And cut.
Also on sale was a blaster gun used by guards in the 1987 episode Dragonfire, as well as on episodes of Red Dwarf.
Ah, I like Red Dwarf. You
it
Red
was-
Dwarf fans, Kira?
Yeah.
I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but
I've
Very
seen
funny.
every
Not my thing.
single episode.
Ooh.
Of every
Okay.
single documentary and every
All right. We're not turning this into the Red Dwarf podcast, okay? We'll talk about it later. God
Welcome
damn it.
to the Red Dwarf podcast.
No.
It sold for £340 or $620 Australian. A original spotted Colin Baker necktie went for £320.
Wow.
A full-scale replica Dalek painted in red, black and gold sold for £460.
Is that all?
Yeah, full-scale Dalek.
I'd have that.
Probably $1,000, you'd say?
Yeah, I'd have that.
yeah, sit in the corner of your room,
Yeah.
creep people out.
You could
Staring
get
at
in
me.
it.
New tender guy comes over. That's just my darling.
Yeah,
Throw some dildos on it. So.
That's where I hang my
Make a
underwear.
porn movie?
You know.
Call them Darloids.
One of my favourite items on sale wasn't actually from Doctor Who. It's called a production-made rock from the Mel Gibson movie Braveheart.
Oh, my God.
It's literally just... they don't say what it's made out of, but I'm assuming it's not just made out of rock. Because if it is just made out of rock, it's just a rock.
Wow.
They may take our lives, but we are going to sell our rocks.
Does anyone want to guess what that sold for?
Oh, don't.
736
no.
pounds.
Thankfully not that much.
£20.
£65.
Oh.
Or about 120 Australian or 80 US.
Or I could just get a rock and say this
Yeah.
was on the set of Braveheart.
I'm just going to start selling shit from my house.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Literally just shit.
Just shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately there are people who will definitely buy that.
In the underpants.
Hey, look, we're not king shaming. I'm just saying it's disgusting.
Is this a scat reference?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
As in the style of music from the
Yeah, the style of
90s,
music,
yeah.
of
I'm a
course.
scat man, beat up. There was also a 42 centimetre plastic floor tile from the 1986 movie Alien, which went for £340.
He's buying a tile. That's a tile.
Do you know what? Maybe someone had their house renovated.
Oh my God, that's the exact tile.
That's the one we need. We're down one. Look, you won't. It's going to cost us a little bit more than I expected,
They're just
but
standing.
that's the one.
There's like one.
Looking everywhere for this tile. It's the
Someday,
only place you
someday.
find
We
it.
will find the missing tile.
If I have to pay $620 Australian dollars, I will pay it.
Can you imagine you there with your husband going, oh, I don't know what we're having. Oh my God, that's our child. That's it.
And it's interesting to note that was 3.5 times the highest asking price or highest estimated price. They did not think it was going to go for
Yeah,
that
because
much.
it's a tile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is
But-
sitting there going, we're going to sell, this tile's going to sell like
Sigourney
crazy.
Weaver might have stood on this tile.
The manufacturers who made a short run of those tiles originally.
Hello,
Yeah.
the Frank Walker from National Tiles.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned if I've decorated my house in anything that was from the Alien movie, even tiles.
Ooh.
Yeah, I captured an alien and I keep it in the closet. And one day I'm just going to decorate this whole house with aliens.
Aliens everywhere.
And pertinent to our previous episode, a set of multicolored elasticized elasticated braces from the TV series Mork and Mindy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sold for £400.
nano.
Oh, rest in peace.
I know.
Robin Williams. Love that man so much.
I still miss him.
Yeah. The highest selling Doctor Who item was from 1987 from the Sylvester McCoy episode Delta and the Bannerman.
Oh, yeah. I quite liked that one, actually.
It's a Nostalgia Tours model bus including some electronics which sold for £750
Oh,
or
God.
1.4 thousand Australian and 950 US.
Jesus.
Well, some people have got too much money.
Someone
Yeah.
remind me to get famous and touch a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make people rich, just like touching
I will
things.
say my dad used to always say, if you want to know what God thinks of money and power, have a look who he gives
Yeah,
it to.
exactly, yeah.
and I look at everyone who's got money and power and go, yeah. Absolutely.
Last episode we mentioned what the second highest selling item was. This week we're going to talk about the highest selling item, which also wasn't from Doctor Who, but it is from a juggernaut of British pop culture. A franchise that is only 22 years old, a mere blip in the world of pop culture. It's another set of glasses, perhaps the most famous glasses ever.
Harry Potter.
Worn by the boy who lived, Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Or to be more precise, Daniel Radcliffe in the 2001 movie Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh. My daughter would take those. She'd pay whatever. She loves
Do you want to have a guess at how much they sold for?
I don't.
$5,000?
Higher.
Oh, 10?
Lower.
8.
Exactly right. £8,000.
Wow.
You did all the legwork and I went 8.
I did. That's like the Price is
Yeah,
Right.
you
The
Price
one
is
whoever
Right
goes
there.
first always
It's
helps
like
the other one.
$8,001.
Yeah. So that's almost 15,000 Australian dollars or 10,000 US.
That's incredible.
Yeah, for a pair of glasses. But they are the most famous glasses and they'll sit in some private collection somewhere.
I like the term you use, juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, that's the weirdest word.
Where does it come from?
It always reminds me of boobs and juggernauts.
Oh,
You know, it's
juggernauts.
juggernauts. People always go, a juggernaut. And I always go, like, big boobs.
It always makes me think of X-Men. Because
Oh.
there's a juggernaut. And he has that famous quote, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the juggernaut."
No,
Oh,
I haven't
yeah,
seen
no,
that
I have
movie.
seen that.
Yeah.
I always think of, you know, that old Australian TV show where they used to hit each other with the, God, this is going, I don't even know what it's called.
Oh.
You know, that it's like red and blue.
It's a knockout.
It's
and
a knockout.
Yeah, and I always
That's
think
the
of that
name of
'cause
the game.
At,
Yeah.
one point,
Yeah.
at one point, like they introduced someone as a juggernaut, and I always go back to that. Like,
Oh, that makes me think of Gladiators.
that's it, Gladiators. No, it was Gladiators.
Gladiators,
Sorry.
yeah.
We went old.
Yeah, we
And
did.
then there was,
We went to Jackie McDonald or Fiona McDonald, I think it was.
He Prices Righted you. You went
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh, went
Yeah.
earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, snap.
All right, so we're on to episode 2 of our two-parter. We do know this was Stephen Moffat's very first episode for Doctor Who. For these 2 episodes, he won a Hugo Award. Does anyone know what a Hugo Award is?
Just when a guy called Hugo gives out an award.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just from his basement. Hello, how you going? My name's Hugo. Here's an award.
And
I really like that one.
I like to message girls on YouTube and go, "Do you want to come around and accept my Adam Award?" And they're like, "No, I am reporting you again."
well, the Hugo
It's
Awards
a sci-fi award.
they're a set of literary awards given annually for the best science fiction or fantasy works and achievements of the previous year. They're named after Hugo Gernsback, the founder of the pioneering science fiction magazine Amazing Stories.
Of course. How did I not know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
That was
second guess.
Yeah.
Story.
Anyway, so he won for Best Dramatic Presentation Short Form. And this is one of many Hugo Awards that he wins for Doctor Who.
Tasty little
Right.
treat.
The Doctor Dances. Season 1, Episode 10. As we know, written by Moffat, directed by, again, James Hawes. Originally broadcast on the BBC Saturday, the 28th of May, 2005. The child's plague is spreading throughout wartime London, and its zombie army is on the march. The Doctor and Rose form an alliance with the time agent and con man Captain Jack, but find themselves trapped in the abandoned hospital. Finally, they head to the crash site of Jack's supposed space junk and discover the ground zero for the mysterious plague.
Ooh. Are you my mummy?
Right, well, we open with the cliffhanger. Gas mask people are backing the Scooby Gang into the corner. Jamie's backing Nancy into the corner. It's all looking like it's going to be over, and then the Doctor says, "Go to your room."
Very clever.
This is perhaps the silliest way to
I love it.
to solve a cliffhanger, but also perhaps my favourite because
Yeah.
it is so dumb.
I was sitting here going, how are they going to get out of
Yeah,
it? When
yeah,
he
yeah.
walked forward, I was like, Yeah. But a little bit, like, as it went on, I was seeing it go, okay, I'll accept this.
Yeah. I am
very angry.
at you. Go to your room. He did. It was such good acting. The zombie grown-ups did it, but the kid did it so well. You know, they put their head down to one side. Yeah. And then you feel sorry for them as they're marching off and you go, damn it, why do I love you?
But I love that afterwards the doctor goes, I'm glad that worked. That would have been the worst last words ever.
Yeah. It looks even worse. Like, for some reason, you do empathise. It's because the goggles are, like, big doughy eyes. I'm a little bit like, don't yell at the gas, boy.
He just wants to infect everybody.
Yeah, he just wants to...
his mummy. I love that. So they all return to their beds, and at the same time, the child, Jamie, turns away from Nancy, leaving the house and wandering off. I found this part of the scene where Nancy's watching Jamie walk away, and she's crying, so moving.
I think that's actually the point where I realised that she was the mum.
Yeah.
Like, I did pick it a little bit beforehand. I'm pretty sure when this happened, I went, she's the mum. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it kind of, I don't know if I can't remember now not knowing this episode, so I can't remember at the beginning whether when I first watched it, but that she's just so sad and it's
Yeah.
Oh. Did you cry? You're the crier?
Yeah, I'm a chronic crier.
Okay.
Yeah, I will sobs. Yeah, get destroyed. It's like it's actually happening to me. Yeah.
Did you sob while Nancy was watching?
I did sob.
So
yeah,
sad.
I was so stressed for
cackled.
her. So this is where we have the moral compass switch here.
Yeah.
You find out that despite my earlier assertions that I would cheat on my husband and do stuff,
I'm actually the worst.
you're a bad, and I'm a good person.
Next
I
time.
wouldn't cheat on someone, but telling a kid off, that's not a problem.
But killing small children, kicking puppies, I'm all for that.
Yeah, everything. Not a problem.
I want to infect you. Do you want to have sex? Oh, look, I've actually got a partner right now. So.
Oh, no, that's what I'm trying to
Will I get a
That's where I
parasite
draw
growing
the
out of my
line.
hand? Okay, the doctor blames Jack for everything, but Jack doesn't take responsibility. He says it was space junk, and he does it all the time. He throws space junk through time, convinces a time agent it's worth something, gets 50% up front, and then it gets destroyed. And so that's his con. He runs cons, and he says the London Blitz, particularly good, but he does recommend Pompeii as another good location spot that you can also have to set your alarm for.
Sorry, it's just, so is he a baby boomer? Like, just happy to completely F the environment?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think he is. Yep, he's a baby boomer. Damn
Yeah.
those baby boomers.
He might be running into the 10th Doctor who was at Pompeii.
Ah, yeah.
And the 12th.
And the 12th and the Amy Pond. Anyway.
Everyone's been there. So if Jack's not doing it for the money, because he says, I'm not doing it for the money, and we don't know then that they've taken 2 years of his time, his memories. But why is he doing it then? Just
No, he's doing it for the money. He said it's
he said, I'm not doing it.
No, he. I think he was doing it to get his 2 years back.
Ah, so it's a
wasn't he?
bargaining
Yeah,
chip?
it's like a bargain. So he originally it feels. That's what I thought. Like, he originally says, I want money, but then when he gets to talk to someone from the agency, he says, that money or my 2 years.
Oh, I
So
see. I
that's-
didn't pick that up.
That's what I thought, but I also was a little bit like, maybe.
It's very much like the movie Paycheck. Have you ever seen the movie Paycheck?
Yes.
Based on a Philip K. Dick short story where basically this guy goes to work for a company and then comes out 2 years later, he's got no memory of what happened. And instead of the giant paycheck, he gets like this envelope of random junk. And then it's all like him trying to figure out what happened.
It's
during
actually
those 2
good.
years.
Isn't it Ben?
I think I saw that movie, but I
Yeah.
forgot.
It is a good
I want to watch that. What is that called?
Paycheck.
Paycheck.
The movie's not... It's okay. It's an okay movie.
The
but
concept is
I like,
fantastic.
the story is really good.
I'm a sucker for a concept. I leave it. I love it.
At this point, when I was first watching it, I thought Jack was very flippant about what was going on. Like, he didn't really care. And I still couldn't work out whether I thought he was a goodie or a baddie.
He seems a little bit, what is that alignment?
Anti-hero.
Right in the middle of a D&D alignment.
Neutral.
Yeah, like...
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. He seems chaotic
Yeah,
neutral.
yeah. I just couldn't work out is he a goodie or a baddie? What was his... when I first watched it, I remember thinking, I don't know, I like him, I don't like him.
I think when he
very
reveals that
flippant.
he's missing 2 years of his life, that's when we're supposed to go, oh, okay, he's not a bad guy, he's not an actual con man.
He's got got his own
He's he's
drive.
just working through his own stuff, basically.
So, Adam, I'm going to ask you this because you've
yes,
seen
okay.
other episodes. You know how the Doctor does not take to Jack straight away. Do you think he's still smarting from the Adam experience with Adam, the companion he had to toss out, not you?
Yeah. Oh, I think he just doesn't like anyone who's not a pretty young girl, as we can see.
Because I'm trying to work out, is he jealous? Or is it that he doesn't trust Rose's judgment in men? Because we have seen Mickey,
yeah.
you know, Adam, not you, the other Adam. He really does not like him.
That's why he regenerates into someone who's way more prettier. Because he's like,
I thought Rose and the Doctor had a thing.
They do, but the Doctor might be jealous of
Because
of
in
Jack.
this episode, he seems kind of jealous
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you don't think I can dance? And,
Yeah.
You know, all that. He gets quite defendant over, suddenly Jack's introduced and he becomes a little bit more like, I have to be suave.
Yeah.
Which is weird for a 900-year-old man.
Yeah.
You think he'd have his shit together by that point, wouldn't you?
Well,
He should just have the experience to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
He might be 900 years old, but as a man, do you think he's still got his emotions, sorted out? I don't think so.
do you think he's still got testosterone? Oh, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
900 years of testosterone.
Actually,
That's a lot.
Coming with a new
Blue
body
balls.
each time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess that would be like he'd have different levels of testosterone with every body.
Ooh.
So
I
when
think you'd have to, wouldn't you?
yeah, so when the chemicals in the new body kind of affect his personality.
So
Like,
he's got
still
a
him,
chemical
but he-
imbalance, essentially.
Yes.
Well, and he
Wow.
always is, after he regenerates, he's always a bit off balance for a
Yeah.
couple of episodes.
Okay.
Or she, the Doctor's a woman now, I would like to point
yeah.
out.
So testosterone and no testosterone.
I was going to say it's not 900 years of blue balls because it was literally his previous incarnation where he was sleeping with everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's
Romantic
true.
Right, so
Doctor.
he's just getting it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Knocking one out.
So the all-clear siren sounds, and Nancy is caught in the house. And Mr. Lloyd raves about the police and how hard he's worked for the food on his table. But Nancy has the upper hand. She points out there's too much food on his table, and half the street thinks his wife is messing about with the butcher, but she knows it's Mr. Lloyd.
I think this is really interesting.
That's
in
a
that-
decent threat in that time.
It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
But like Nancy is such a good. It's such she's supposed to be like the hero of this thing. But for the from looking at it from our perspective now, it's like, oh God, is she prejudiced? Like,
No,
or is she
no,
just
no.
using what she
She does
knows?
not.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
it was just she knows
She's
that she
using
can
what
get
she
him.
knows so she can feed children. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I understand, but like,
You know.
It is a little bit like the way she says it is like you're doing a bad thing. And back in that time,
she's using it against him. You know.
yeah.
Anyway, she demands wire cutters, a torch, food, and a trip to the bathroom before she leaves. I quite liked that.
Do you think that his wife knows that he's sleeping with the?
I don't think so. I think it was in the closet a lot in those days.
It was
They
illegal.
all got married.
It was illegal.
Yeah, it was illegal.
The act of buggery was
Yeah,
illegal.
it was actually
back then.
illegal. I think even if she did know, would she still like the fact that they have such a lavish lifestyle?
Yeah.
And her not questioning it. Do you think maybe even if she didn't know, she'd have an inkling that?
But
Yeah,
also,
it's
I mean,
something.
she's got the most pork of anyone at that time. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who he's porking as long as she's also
getting
getting
it.
Yeah. He's
It's
getting some
fine.
pork and she's getting
She's-
some
yep.
pork.
And I'd just like to point
Everybody
out that
wins.
buggery was finally made legal in 1967 in England and Wales after the recommendation of the Wolfenden Report.
Really?
What's that?
Wolfenden, was that your report, Beck? How'd it go?
Yeah.
No, I
Do you want to tell us all about the report, Beck?
What did it say? Just stop it?
no, I can't remember exactly what it was about, but I have heard of it.
It was about. It said any sex between two.
Beck's last
consenting-
name is Wolfenden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting here going, why are you this expert on
Yeah.
the subject?
I'm
Tell us all
not-
about gay sex. So.
Oh, I could, but
No, it made sex between any two consenting adults legal. But also, just as an add-on, it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we should look into the rise of prostitution on the streets.
Oh, just as a side
I
note.
can't.
just as a
I
side
can't
note.
tell you about that one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Wait,
no, I wrote that
So
report.
you had to travel all the way to Wales
Yeah,
to do the do.
Well, Scotland and the other countries took a little bit longer. Yeah.
I wonder when did it become legal in Australia? Tasmania was the last state, wasn't it?
Well, I'm considering we use the word bugger a lot. I thought maybe we were just allowed to.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're criminals.
Yeah, right. We stole loaves of bread.
I did have a friend of mine in London say to someone, oh, God, she said, I'm so buggered from last night. And they went, what? And she went, what do you mean? They went, what are you? And she went, tired. Oh, it means something else here.
Well, the act of buggery was defined in the law as anal sex between two men, or a man and a woman, so not between two ladies, anyway, or vaginal intercourse between a person and an animal.
Is buggery.
Oh.
That's bestiality.
That's bestiality.
Yeah, but not anal intercourse with an animal.
Oh,
anyway,
so that definition has changed, definitely.
Oh yeah. That was a definition back in the 40s.
I'm not
that
gonna
was
say
a legal definition.
I'm never saying I'm buggered ever again. Buggery, on the other hand, sounds like a lovely word. It sounds really sweet.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I could go for some buggery.
Yeah. I used to...
Sounds like a cup of tea
Isolate
and a
that clip,
biscuit.
listeners. Isolate that clip.
That's another shirt.
Just wake up in the morning and go, oh, woo, buggery today.
Oh,
Someone comes in with one of those like trays with your breakfast. You're like, would you like some fresh buggery?
I don't know if any of you remember, but you remember Roy and HG who had their sports show? That was Club Buggery.
Oh, God.
That was very funny.
is it Volcano Day? No, it's Buggery
It's
Day.
Buggery Day today.
Oh my.
My favourite line comes in that scene when Nancy goes, "There's the sweat on your brow."
Yeah.
Oh, that was
love
clever.
She's manipulative.
Yeah, because he mentions that earlier in
Yeah,
the script,
yeah.
and he kind of, this is from the sweat
Sweat
on
of
my
my
brow,
brow.
and then after her long threat, she goes, "There's the sweat on your brow."
I just
So-
love
But then she also
I think,
tells
like,
the
good
kids.
girlfriend.
The kids go, "Oh, he must have got it off the black market." And she's like, "We won't have that kind of talk in this house. We're a guest." And then she turns on him and is like, "All right, I know where you got this from, mate."
Well, he's about to take it to the cops. She's going to do what she can to survive.
Imagine that conversation. They turn up and like, "All right, where's this?" "Oh, I actually let her go." Why? No reason.
She slipped away.
Simple misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Broke into my buggery.
Club Buggery.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were Oscar Wilde. I'll leave.
I was in a shitty little shed, and when I came in, there was a woman in my house. The Scooby Gang head to room 802, where the child was first taken. As they listened to a recording of Dr. Constantine interviewing the child, the tapes run out. But the child keeps talking.
I'm here. Can't you see me?
They realise the child is in the room, his room, the room the doctor sent him to. I love that. It is,
That's
you're right.
so
that
clever.
You hear that tape
Yeah.
and then the still going. I just love that. And I like that the doctor asks Jack to use his technology to get into the room for the simple reason that he wants to try and work out what Jack has and who Jack is and where Jack comes from, not because he can't do it.
The tape running out and the creepy child, like that's some straight up Silent Hill shit there.
That is
Like straight,
so
yeah.
good.
It's clever writing in the fact that when he threatens the kid to go, go back to your room, and then they end up going to the room, and then he says that line.
There's
That's
a
all set up
consequence.
so
yeah,
well.
there's
Yeah.
a consequence
Yeah.
for that line.
Yeah, that line is like, it's not accidental. That whole scenario was written with purpose.
It's great writing.
Yeah,
It's all
clever.
joins as you get in.
It's very intricate. I
Yeah,
like it.
I think he's really, really good. Rose, of course, very impressed with the squareness gun.
Oh yes.
Because, it's real sci-fi. I like that. And then when the doctor's looking at the sonic blaster, he says that he went to the factory where those blasters were made once. And Jack says, "Oh, yeah, they blew it up." And the doctor goes, "Yeah, like I said, once." And I love that about the doctor because and now it's got a banana plantation.
Yeah, I like
Because
bananas.
he's a pacifist. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He blows up factories. I like bananas. Bananas are good.
The way he deals with the weapons factory is just to go and put banana grove.
Yeah, and I love that Jack ends up with a banana instead of his
Or that line of the doctor is like, "Don't forget the banana. Why? It's a good source of potassium."
good source of potassium. I like that. And then, of course, it's running time. Although there's not as much running in this episode as you normally do in
No,
Doctor Who, I thought. There's normally a lot
Falling.
of corridors and a lot of running.
There's a lot of falling and
Oh, yeah.
teleporting.
Falling and teleporting.
I like that Rose, as much as she hasn't really got like a thing that she can do that attributes to anything, she's the ideas man.
She's
So they
practical.
both stand there going like this, and then she points she hasn't got the gun, but she makes him point the gun down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like she's not completely
Pointless.
Pointless. I love the fact that the doctor's going, "I'm sonicked." "What have you got? Have you got a sonic gun, a sonic..." "It's just I'm sonicked." I like that. It's a screwdriver.
He might as well have said, "Look, it's not as big as yours, but okay, it works. It works, all right."
So we have a fair bit of sonic envy going on
Yes.
there. So a little bit of that sexual stuff. But I love that line. And he goes, "Haven't you ever had a lot of shelves to put up?" I love that.
Well, considering that the crew has confirmed that the euphemism dances
Oh, yeah.
means
We get into that in a
means
minute.
romance. It makes you look at this episode completely different. It's essentially called the Dr. Fur.
I was about to say, can we say
So
the
when
F word on
she's-
this?
Yeah, you
But
can
yeah,
say
the
fuck.
doctor fucks.
So when
Yeah.
she's saying
He
the
fucks.
world doesn't end because the doctor dances, she means like because he's
She's like,
The
whip
doctor
it out.
fucks.
Yeah.
That's what she
Ow.
means. Yeah.
Oh, she's a Rudy Tooty. She's a Rudy Tooty, that Rose. Oh, look at Porkbag. Do you want to put your hair plugs in there?
Yes.
We're going to talk about moist in a minute, so
yeah.
I'm kidding.
Stop.
Oh, yeah, when they're in the cupboard, I love the assets conversation. Jack says, I've got a banana in a pinch you can put up shelves. That went quickly. I thought that was really good. This is Doctor Who making fun of itself because Jack is what you think a sci-fi, a good sci-fi hero should look like, right?
Yes.
He's Star Trek.
He's Captain Kirk,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, but he's got all these cool features on his gun, but the battery runs out really fast and then it's useless. But the Doctor, who's got a trusty sonic screwdriver, he's eccentric, a pacifist with weird technology, but he gets the job done. And so Rose wanting him to be Mr. Spock, he's not. He's not Jack. He's the Doctor. And I like that they make that comparison and they say, we're eccentric and weird over here.
I know they use the word Spock because it's the most iconic name from Star Trek, but comparing the Doctor to Spock actually doesn't work because Spock is the logical one, in some circumstances, but he likes to talk it through and come to that conclusion. So Spock is actually quite like the Doctor, whereas Captain Kirk is the one who's a lot like Jack, who comes in and is like, what's that? 3 green boobs? Let's do this.
Yeah, I think Kirk was trying to have sex with everything as well. Yeah, but it is, if you look at it, you've got the traditional sci-fi and then you've got campy old wild Doctor Who, and yet in the end, who wins? Doctor. Whereas the Jack's proven to have, feet of clay. He's flawed, his technology runs out. Sonic screwdriver can do autopsies.
And as we find out in this episode, Star Trek is going to end up with a bomb.
What?
I don't know.
I was like, what?
Yeah, God, Adam was watching something else as well.
Movie, I don't know,
Spoilers.
Because Captain Jack is Star Trek, so...
He is, but he is, and I like that right at the beginning they set up this, Rose wants him to be, the Doctor to be more sci-fi, and then they sort of play with that thing through it. I like it, and they give the comparison. I thought it was really good anyway. I like the fact that Doctor Who can make fun of itself.
Which is quite interesting, because Captain Jack is arguably, if not my favourite character, one of my favourite characters of the whole series.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, he is very Star Trek.
It's almost like a comparison, not directly to say one is better than the other, but both are valid.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
two different ways
Yeah,
of
true.
going
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the character they create to be Star Wars.
Oh, if not already, is there already a character kind of like that?
Someone who just goes around shooting everyone.
If I was going
That's
to
the
compare
master,
the
shrinking.
Doctor to a Star Trek captain, would he not be Janeway a little bit? Because she's very out of the box thinking.
I
sort
like
of captain.
Janeway.
I love Janeway.
Yeah,
Did you
me
mean the
too.
Doctor or Captain Jack?
The Doctor.
Oh, okay.
The Doctor. More like. Did you watch Voyager? Star Trek
No,
Voyager?
I didn't watch
Oh.
any Star
It
Trek.
was good.
Voyager's good.
Anything that didn't have Kirk in it was all right with me. I saw when I was a kid, and everyone would watch the Benny Hill show, and I was only really, really little, but I still, as a little girl, looked at it and went,
This isn't.
they're
me.
objectifying women. Whatever it was, it made me really uncomfortable. I never worked out what that was. And yet other stuff from that was as sexist as anything. And
There's a little part of your brain that I think, as a young girl, you go, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't include me.
Yeah, that's right.
And my dad would watch Benny Hill, and I remember very early on being like, oh, he does the same thing every single
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Why is there more than one episode? I don't understand,
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it. I watched the two Ronnies and they're just as sexist. I thought they were hilarious. So there you go. Okay, so Jack teleports out. Did you think Jack was coming back?
I thought he was going to come back.
Did you? I didn't.
You didn't?
No, when I first watched it, I didn't. What did
No,
you
I
think?
thought he'd have to come back. I thought it would be a weird way to build up a character and then just be like, bye.
Well, he does that twice in this episode. He just disappears and
Yeah.
then comes back.
It's kind of annoying. Why didn't he do that earlier when they were being encroached on by the mask people? He could have done it then as well.
I don't know.
All right.
Bloody Star Trek. Oh, sorry, bloody Captain Jack. Rose is, convinced he's going to come back and the Doctor isn't. And he asks her why she trusts him. And she says that Jack reminds her of the Doctor, except with dating and dancing.
Is that her getting a sly dig of like, I want you?
Oh, I tell you what.
Your pants off, Doctor.
She might have wanted him as Christopher Eccleston, but she really wanted him as David Tennant.
Well, she might have wanted him with clothes on, and then he takes the clothes off like, oh, actually, I'll just get you something to eat. How's
Yeah.
that sound?
I'll make you that sandwich.
Yeah.
He's very thin. We do see him shirtless in one of the episodes. You go, oh, eat up, baby, eat up.
Wait, who's this? Tennant or...
No,
Eccleston.
Eccleston.
No,
This Doctor.
has Tennant ever taken
He
his
looks
shirt
so
off?
big under the leather jacket. I thought he was like
He
a
does look big
little
under the
kid.
leather jacket. He isn't. No.
He's thin.
The illusion's gone.
So the Doctor's mildly offended that Rose assumes that he can't dance. So she asks him to prove it. And they're about to dance, and then he starts looking at her hands, talking about the nanogenes, and the next thing they know, they're teleported to Jack's ship.
He just can't close. I think that's his thing. He doesn't.
Not a closer?
He's
He's not a closer.
Not a closer.
No.
They're
He's very awkward.
teleported mid-dance as well. So Jack is
Yeah.
like, oh, no, please continue. Oh,
I like-
watch.
I like the
Like me. Ooh, keep continue.
Pansexuals.
The Doctor says, why do you trust him? And she said, oh, you know, he saved my life. Guy-wise, that's right up there with flossing. Now, is this the new standard?
Flossing.
Flossing.
Is the standard she has. No,
Yeah.
I think this is Ross's. I think this is Rose's
Oh,
standard.
okay. If you
so
floss,
different from
Rose will do you.
my standards.
Yes.
Oh, my God, I have a chance?
Yeah, if you floss.
Oh, wow,
All right.
fantastic.
What are your standards?
My standards
Men,
are
they've got to-
very high.
Okay.
Very high.
They got to floss and brush their
Yeah,
hair.
no comedians need to
Oh.
apply.
Wait. How many comedians
This is a
have
public
applied?
announcement to everyone on the circuit. No, thank you.
Oh, dear.
You're lovely, but
Oh,
no.
no. Oh, no. I feel like there's a story behind that.
There is a few stories.
Oh, no.
We'll get those later.
unfortunately.
Hey, creepy comedians, fuck off.
I would just like to say that anyone who's doing stand-up comedy in their 20s who's a woman and is single is not really looking for a boyfriend at that
There's a
time
reason.
at a comedy club. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the avenue I would
And you
choose.
can't have two funny people in a relationship because it just turns into a competition.
Quite honestly, I need someone to laugh at my jokes, and I'm sick of laughing at other people.
Yeah.
That's quite honestly the only reason why I'd never date a comedian is
Yeah.
because I'm like, I want to be the funny one. Mm-hmm. So
That's why I married David.
that's why I'm single.
Is that why you married you've got a David too, haven't you?
I've got a burn.
Oh,
Yeah, or he often gets called Bryn.
burn.
Ah.
Oh, sorry.
But his name is Burn. But
Burn.
people really struggle with it as a name.
Burn.
So they'll see. I don't know, because the mind is so simple. You know, it likes to compartmentalise. And when you see a name that doesn't make sense to you,
You change it.
you change it.
Oh.
It's very
Is it
strange.
BIRN?
BYRNE.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Simone and her husband's David.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry.
he funny?
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Funny to you or funny outwardly to
No, funny outwardly. Like he's got some good one. Not as funny as me though.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think
okay,
that's
good.
really,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to angle
Yeah,
at. Like,
yeah.
you have to be the funny one.
Here's the fun part, and it's one of my favourites, and he loves it when I bring it up all the time. So
Oh,
you're
fantastic.
welcome.
Oh, good. That's really good.
Is when we were first hanging out,
Dancing.
dancing. Boy can dance. He told me, because I had said to him that I wanted to do comedy. You know, a couple of friends have said that I'm like funny, and I always kind of thought everyone was funny, and then it turns out, no, that's not the case.
not how it
Most people are shit.
It's a skill.
Yeah, most people don't have a sense of
Yeah.
humour.
Not at all. So, and then he said to me, and quite seriously, look, I mean, I think you're funny. I just don't think other people will find you funny. I
And
was
you
like,
didn't listen to him.
And you
they-
thought,
and I
this
didn't.
is the man I want to marry.
not at that point. I thought he was an absolute twat, actually. But then he sort of grew on me. And
Like
no,
a
he's
funky.
good,
Yeah.
fungus. Yeah, no, he's a good, totally awesome dude. But yeah, so that was, and he loves it because I did raw comedy and I got to the state finals at some point, which was just enough. And then I was like,
And then you don't do it enough anymore.
No, well, because I work full time because I was doing my honours in psych as well, and that was, and also there are children and dogs, and it's
My
just
good goodness,
there's
that's a real
lot.
job.
It's
That's
the whole
Yeah.
thing's on, right? So yeah, but that was my yeah. So
My husband makes me laugh. We make each other laugh, but I'm funnier than he is.
Yeah.
He will occasionally tell me that he's funnier, but no one believes that. No one
And
believes
I
that
make
shit.
myself laugh sometimes, so yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, that's my whole thing. If I can make myself laugh,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like,
And sometimes I dance with myself. Anyway, I just dance around the living room, you know, or at work,
The
you know.
living room.
the
Your mum
toilets
must
at
be
work.
so scarred.
What does your mother do while you're doing that? Dancing around the living room.
Ugh.
Don't Don't get that all
Get out
over
of
the
my room,
couch
Mum.
again.
Yeah.
I always think that in
Clean up after you
in
dance.
porn movies, do they like clean the couch? Do they like give it a good wipe with an antibacterial?
Covered in clean wrap or something.
Do you is there a
Scotch
job?
Guarded.
Is there a job? I don't want the job, by the way.
Forensic
Like
cleaners,
yeah,
but
but
for
for-
porn films.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I doubt those things get cleaned. I think they just get reused.
Hosed.
think about it.
A general hosing.
Hopefully not the condoms.
Or they don't use condoms.
Yeah, but if you're an avid recycler,
Oh.
Have like
An environmentalist.
friendly condoms
I can
that
turn
you
it
can
inside
reuse
out,
with
it's
some.
okay.
Can they make condoms from seaweed yet so we can start recycling them?
Didn't they used to make them from like gut?
Yeah, pig
gut.
pig guts. Yeah.
Sheep's intestines.
Yeah, which would break down a lot better.
actually, yeah. Why do we?
They-
But latex is still a natural.
Yeah, but some people have latex allergies, don't they?
They do.
Oh, true.
I mean, then you've got flavours. You wouldn't want the fairy floss flavour one, would you?
No.
It'd just
What
melt in your mouth.
Conversation are we having?
Oh, sorry, Doctor Who.
We need another podcast.
Can I just say the
I
problem
feel
with the
for this.
original condoms was getting up the courage to fuck the pig before you had sex. To put it on. To put it on.
that's
It's not
getting
kosher.
It's not kosher. It's not. Oh man.
I thought you said crochet just then.
Yeah.
It's not crochet either.
I mean,
Too
I don't know if
many
you know,
holes.
but sex is not crochet either.
Oh, definitely I know that.
I don't know about you, but I'm buggered. I love the whole thing about the captain envy and the being defrocked and all of that sort of conversation, which I think if you were ever in doubt that dancing meant sex, they made it very clear that dancing meant sex. I really, really liked that. And very Stephen Moffat wrote a sitcom called Coupling, which was very, very, lots of unresolved sexual tension, very funny. It was like Friends, but rude. And it's really clever. Very good. But anyway. So you can see a bit of that sitcom in his, I think, in the dialogue. I like
Well,
it.
Stephen Moffat, he liked the line in this episode, being alive is just a way to keep meat fresh.
Yeah.
He liked that line so much he used it in another show that he did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
But it's true. Nancy finds her homeless brood and tells them they've got to look after themselves because she's putting them in danger. One of the children, while she's been talking to them, has been typing a letter to his dad. And then suddenly Nancy points out that the boy is no longer typing, but the clacking sound continues.
That was the recording again.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
trope.
But can I ask, so that means that the Chula War abilities are being able to psychically close doors, being able to speak through anything with a speaker grill, being able to punch through walls,
Yeah.
and operate typewriters without touching them.
Can't wait to be a Chula warrior.
But does that mean at the end, when everyone's turned back into humans, spoiler alert, they still have those abilities?
No.
Because,
No, because we'll get to that.
okay, all right.
We'll get to that.
The nanogenes didn't know that humans aren't supposed to have those abilities.
You're not supposed to be able to type from a great distance? What?
Yeah,
weird.
everyone can type. God, who didn't do typing?
No, I love the boy goes, I don't need to learn how to read and write. I've got a machine to do it.
I love that. So what was he actually doing?
Yeah.
Just letters. Just different random
Or
letters.
the concept that possibly he was just had his hands there and that it was already typing, "Where are you, mummy?" like over and over again, and he couldn't read it,
Oh.
and he was like, "These are words, but I can't." Ooh. Weird.
Well, I like that. Well, I said it's the same with the tape. You're playing with your expectations and sound, which is really creepy. And I like the fact that you don't ever get you never get to see exactly what's going on with Jamie. You know, it's not really close up with we get a little bit of it, but they don't overuse it. It's just in the background enough to be creepy.
It's the mystery of unknown
Yeah.
that's coming into
Yeah.
it. So you're given just enough. You're given a
Yeah.
taste to kind of go, oh, what else is
Yeah,
there? And it's
yeah.
that kind of like, oh, fear of the unknown that kind of really drives that prickle on the back of your neck.
There could be a gas mask wearing person just around the corner.
Well, I mean,
Also, I'll take it off.
yeah. And how do you crochet in that thing? Anyway,
Yeah.
I can crochet with
wondering
my
what you
eyes
went-
closed. Don't you doubt me.
I can knit with my eyes closed, and it looks just about as good
Wait,
as
are
if
we
I had
still
them
talking
open.
about knitting and crocheting,
Yeah,
guys? I don't
okay.
understand. Is this a euphemism for
No,
something?
no,
Yeah.
dancing is sex. Crochet is crochet.
I can dance in my eyes
Crochet
closed.
is definitely
Crochet
no
is
sex.
masturbation.
Preferably.
Right,
You
right,
can
right.
dance and crochet at the same time, but it's weird.
Yeah, that is
Gays
good.
everywhere.
That's the
I'd
definition
rather
of
just
it.
do
I'm
one.
retracting my previous statement.
Okay, crochet girl. Nancy heads to the bum site and sneaks in using
To the
her...
bum site.
That's just me.
It's all buggery to me. The bomb site. Nancy heads to the bomb site. Oh, I did it again. to the bomb site and sneaks in using her newly acquired wire cutters. Thank you, Mr. Lloyd. And the sweat on your brow.
Well, she does get in because of buggery.
She does.
Oh, she does.
It all
Yeah.
comes back to all
In
roads
Jack's
lead to
shit.
buggery.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
roads in Doctor Who. Well, I mean, all
Lead
roads in
back to
Torchwood. All roads in Torchwood pretty much do.
Do lead to
Yeah.
sex, don't they? Yeah. In Jack's ship, the nanogenes heal the Doctor's hand, which he burnt on the TARDIS console in part 1, you know. He identifies Jack's borrowed ship as a Chula warship, and that the space junk that crashed is also Chula. And this is where we learn that Jack has lost 2 years of his memory. So I did quite like that line when he says, your friend here doesn't trust me, and for all I know, he might be right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I do
that's
like
a-
that.
and I was thinking it would be weird to wake up and not know what you'd done in the last 2 years.
The idea that you could have possibly done something terrible and not know about it is
Yeah.
that changes a person. It
If you
seems-
get particularly drunk and wake up the next morning, and then people have to tell you like, "Oh, you did this," you're like, "Oh shit."
Jack's experiencing that every day of his life right now. He's like, "Oh, I did that."
I hate that. Anyone out there who does that, stop it.
I do
hate,
it.
Oh, stop it, Beck. I hate
I could
that.
tell you
What is
all about the last time Adam got drunk.
Whenever you go out and you...
but I remember
You
most
always
of
get
that.
the one person who goes, you know what you did last night? You did this and this and this, and you go, "Ugh."
You.
I
No,
love doing
it's not.
it.
No, that's how I had an ex. I have an ex best friend, Amanda, and
Oh, and
she
she
was
used to
that
do that.
person.
That's why
I got
she's
drunk
ex.
once,
Amanda Hug
and
and
she
Kiss.
would not. Like
you-
she was awful.
The
so,
key
yeah,
is
done.
to never say and then have that on them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm always the sober friend, and all my friends are always quite drunk or
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever else. And I catalogue all this stuff that
Yeah.
I've basically
Yeah,
done
yeah.
in my
Don't
head.
tell them.
I don't tell them because
Hold on to it.
I'm their friend. I love them. But also, if they were to turn on me,
Oh, yeah. It's time.
Let me
Time
pull
to
out the
release.
dossier. I
Again,
have
there's
on
that little
you.
moral compass that
Yeah.
you were talking about earlier. Oh, I'm so
diabolical.
moral and ethical. Like, no, I would argue
Whatever you
that
cross.
you're
I will
kind of an
crush you,
asshole.
but I would never sleep with your boyfriend.
I'm a team player, bitch.
Oh yeah, I've heard you're a team player.
That's the one piece of advice I gave my son when it came to women. I said,
Be a team player.
no. I said, never trust a woman that other women don't like.
oh, that is such good advice.
Because if other women don't like them,
There's
it's
a reason.
very good reason for that.
yeah.
So that was always mine.
I always say never trust somebody with white sheets.
White sheets.
Yeah,
Because they're
because-
not doing it. They're not dancing enough.
No, because it just means that they're really
Yeah.
anally retentive to keep them purely white.
Oh no, it's because they're the easiest ones to clean because
And
you
they-
can just chuck them in on a hot wash with some bleach.
Yeah.
And just because I have dogs and kids and like it's just gross, so it's just easier. There's nothing pristine about them, but it's just easy because any other color, it's actually
Yeah,
harder
do
to
you
get them
trust
clean.
Kira?
You're right. I don't
She
trust her.
doesn't trust me.
No.
Yeah, no, for good reason.
Well, that's all right. I'm never getting drunk in front of Beck.
The person who
If
says
she knows
bleach
how
gets
to
rid of
clean
everything,
blood
I'm
out
like,
of sheets, then I don't trust her.
No, it's not. But I just mean like general.
Especially pillowcases.
You're sitting there going, yeah, you know, it gets rid of the blood,
It's for the
brain
blood.
matter.
Yeah, well, especially brain matter. So because of that sniper rifle, that's 100% accurate.
And the brain matter is the worst, I
Oh,
find. You know, because
God,
it gets
tell me about it.
everywhere and then
Oh.
you're picking it off your curtain.
If I ever
Oh, you
find
gotta
out
put,
those
like,
kids
little
from your
flakes.
neighborhood just go mysteriously missing,
I just want to like I would never kill the children. I would never do like I do love
you call
children.
me.
I
the
do love
assist
them.
to come help.
I do love them. It's just creepy. They're just a little bit creepy because they turn up and I'm like, I did not invite you.
Yeah, that is creepy. That's
Yeah.
creepy.
It's
I kinda
like,
wanna throw
it's like
salt
when you've
around
got one of
and-
those friends who just turns up. You know, when you're at uni
I
or
wish I
something.
had that.
And they just turn up and no one likes them and they're just always there. We had a friend like that and one of the girls...
Is a friend the right word? Friend,
An acquaintance.
a person.
Someone
There's a
we
person.
knew.
Yeah, there you
There's
go.
always there's a friendship group and a person who thinks they're part of the friendship group.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
then no
Yeah,
one wants to
unfortunately,
let
that's
them.
me.
No.
Don't.
All right, we should get back to Doctor
There's a
Who.
difference between friend and person who thinks they're a main character in a dating sim. You know, like just turns up all the time. Here, I got you gifts. Do you want a date? No, that's not how it works.
Go away.
Oh no,
No.
that's not. Oh, that's how I
I was
got
wondering
married.
why you came with gifts for each person.
Be sure to pick up our new T-shirt. Never kill the children.
With white sheets.
Don't trust anyone with white sheets and never date a woman who other women don't like. These are all the T-shirts we're
love that.
bringing out. Meanwhile, back in the world of Doctor Who.
What?
Yeah, I know. Nancy is discovered at the bomb site and placed under arrest. She's brought to a hut and handcuffed next to a very sick Jenkins with burgeoning mummy issues. Despite her pleading with the commanding officer Algie not to leave her there, He does. I just wanted her away from him so much when that's going on. And you could, the acting is so good. He's sweating and he's got this.
You actually recoil in your I recoiled in my seat. I didn't notice that. I actually moved back a little bit because it was like that whole contagious feel of
don't touch. Oh, I thought that was horrible. Anyway, and then and he becomes a gas mask, a zombie.
And that's I like the fact that so they only show the full CGI effect once in the first episode.
Yeah.
And then every time after that, except for when Algae turns, they show it a little bit. But every time after that, it's just left up to your imagination.
Yeah.
They cut away.
I like that.
And I love that they spent all that money on that CGI for that first time.
Yeah.
And then every time after that, it's just use your imagination.
Because if you'd done it, you hadn't put enough money into it, it would have just looked
silly.
Well,
Yeah,
part
silly,
of it
dumb.
would have been a budgeting issue, I feel, because a similar thing happened in Jaws where the shark broke down. They couldn't show it as often, but for some reason, the absence of the shark, they had to get very creative with where the fear came from. It came from the sound, and it came from cutaways, and it came from those little bits, as opposed to the actual visual of
And
the
we've
shark.
mentioned before how in some of the classic episodes they would basically do a dodgy puppet and then show it every single time.
Yeah.
And you're like, no one is being helped by that dodgy puppet.
Yeah. We are being attacked by the paper mache Wirren in the corner.
Oh, no.
And I mean, paper mache is nasty when it gets its blood up, I tell you. Did everyone paper mache at school? Or is that...
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I was paper macheing last night.
Oh, yeah. Are you making a bust of me? Because I've got two here. Sorry.
Did you have enough newspaper or did you need more?
I'll give you some life-size
I've got
models.
this weird view of your house that is all just creative.
I imagine that too.
It's a shrine to Nicchia.
Yeah. it's like crochet faces.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Well, we already
mache.
know the left one's called Hello Lefty.
Hello, Lefty. Another one's called Bert. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
The intranet at work was called Bert because they had a survey of what should we call the new intranet? This was a few years ago, and someone put the silly name Bert because it was the name of one of the guys who started the company.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw it on there, I was like, oh, they put that on there as a joke, but they should 100% know that's going to be the name of it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it became known as Bert.
Bert. I like that. Okay, the Scooby Gang also reached the bomb site. Rose thinks she'll have to distract Algie, the officer. Ooh, do the words distract the guard come my way? And no, Rose, put it away for 5 minutes.
Jesus.
God, woman.
Leave it up to the experts.
She's trying to crack onto everybody.
Oh, she's
She's like, oh, another guard, yes please.
So Jack goes off to flirt with Algie because he tells Rose, you're not his type. And the doctor explains to Rose that Jack is, and this is a quote, just a bit more flexible when it comes to dancing. In Jack's century, people will travel the whole universe to find aliens of all sexes and genders and dance with them.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can't work out whether Rose is offended because she's just realised she's one of many for Jack, or she's just disgusted that once we get out and discover the universe, all we do is hump.
But she also didn't get any, did
Yeah,
they? They didn't
yeah.
even
Yeah.
dance.
More of a
So
disappointment.
she was
Yeah.
like, oh, so he will dance with everyone but me.
But me, yeah.
I love that Captain Jack hasn't heard of Star Trek, and yet the ethos of Star Trek is 100% there because they just go out and hump everything.
They do. It's soap opera in space.
Yeah.
But they always
Yeah,
have
it's
to have one. So it was Kirk in the first one, and the Next Generation it was Riker, the number one. He was always getting it on with someone. No one in Voyager that I remember.
No one in Voyager was particularly.
Tom Paris at the beginning.
Yeah.
But that reminds me, that idea reminds me of a later Moffat episode where they go back to Roman times and the Roman soldiers are talking to Amy and they basically go, oh, you only like men? And the Roman soldiers are like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're so biased, you don't.
Yeah.
Because
No,
the
it's
Roman
Bill.
soldiers sleep with both men
Yeah.
and
It's
women.
Bill. Because they said, oh, he likes you, and Bill's a girl, and Bill says, oh, I only sleep with women. And they go, oh, well, that's okay. We have everybody here because, he said, this guy over here, Claudius, he only sleeps with men. But the rest of us
that's
just
right,
sleep
yeah.
with everybody.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So it's very much like a
Pansexual was in.
Yeah.
pansexual was the majority, and then,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Heterosexuality was.
And they're like,
well,
oh no, we can make fun of heterosexuals.
Yeah.
I've got one as a friend. It's fine.
Yes.
I know this cute little heterosexual.
We set you up with
Yes. My friend, he's heterosexual.
Do you know this other heterosexual? We don't all know each other, all right?
I think that heterosexuals should be allowed to get married. We'll call it heterosexual marriage.
That's a bit much.
That's pretty controversial.
Yeah, all they're going to do is get divorced at the end. Like, come on.
And ruin kids' lives. I mean,
Yes.
really? Come on. Look at us. We're examples.
What are you teaching? Just not sharing. That's what you're teaching.
Oh, what are
Yeah.
they going to teach
That's
it in
selfish.
schools?
Look,
if they
marriage
make
is
it-
a
if
sacred
hetero-
bond, okay?
That's right.
That's why we have so many reality TV shows that make fun of it in grotesque ways.
Yeah,
If
like,
heterosexuals can get married, what are they going to make? What are they going to teach our kids at school
yeah.
Yeah.
about sex?
Yeah, I know.
That you shouldn't be having any?
That's pretty much what my school's policy was.
How did that work out?
Yeah, abstinence works
well,
great,
they did say
guys.
kissing would get you pregnant, so it did scare the shit out of me.
Oh,
Yeah, why do people always say that? That is a terrifying thing to say to a kid. You're like, if I touch this person with my lips, we're donezo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's it,
Kids
I-
aren't donezo, but I mean, like, at the age of...
I'm dead.
I've given consent.
But then they also think, well, if I stick this in there, nothing's going to happen because my lips aren't touching.
that's as long as we don't kiss.
We're fine.
Everything's
Don't
fine.
stick the scissors in the plug
Yeah.
Yeah.
into the electrical socket.
Oh,
Jesus,
God.
I thought you meant
That's
actual
a rough-
scissors.
It's a scary
That is
visual.
rough
Oh,
analogy.
oh.
Have you been watching Saw recently?
No, I don't like horror films.
Algae's transformation. I liked it. The silhouette thing I thought was really
Yeah,
good when the
another good
commanding officer.
Oh,
And
yes,
it's on
yes.
the side.
Yes.
It did take me a second when he talks to Algie and Algie turns around and goes, Mummy. And I was
Yeah.
like, is that a name that they have for each other?
Is it
or...
cutesy, like,
Yeah.
is that a thing?
Yeah, they could
be-
have quite easily.
That would be quite weird in this episode. The Doctor here is singing, and thank God somebody rescues Nancy, who very cleverly is singing lullabies to Jenkins.
Yeah.
And I think, you sit there, you think you're going to get killed, and you're going, rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop, sing more. I like that. Much to our surprise, Jack tries to open the alien ship to show the Doctor it's empty, and he sets off a distress signal, calling all the zombies to the bomb site.
What
Good one, Jack.
idiot.
Yeah.
Get out
The
of
alarm
here.
basically says, final act, everybody here, we're going to shoot the final act now.
All extras.
This is
Yeah.
that whole thing about you can be pretty or smart, but not both. And I think Captain Jack is really,
Really
bless him.
personified.
He
Bless
didn't
him.
quite get both, did he?
No.
I like this because sometimes with Doctor Who, I always feel like the end they rush. And this, I did not feel like this was rushed at all. I felt like the pace was... I liked the pace. Did anyone think
No,
it was
it's
Do you
rushed?
think it was because it was 2 episodes?
Yeah, probably.
It might have been.
And
a
I
little
feel like
bit-
this is one of those episodes that uses the 2 episodes very well. We've
Oh,
watched episodes
yeah.
where they've tried to just stretch out an episode
Yeah.
over 2 episodes. And I feel like there's nothing in here that you would kind of cut.
No.
It all works really well,
Yeah, no, it's got a good amount in it.
Yeah, I when they did that, I'm thinking, I must be going to end soon. I thought, wow, it's gone so quick. So I didn't watch them back to back. I watched one each different day. And then finally, of course, the Doctor figures it out. The Chula space junk was a field ambulance, contained nanogenes, which would heal the soldiers on the battlefield. When it hit the child, they tried to fix him, but rewritten by an idiot, didn't know what humans looked like, put him together as best they could. And then anyone that he came in contact with, they went, oh, we'll heal them as well.
Yeah,
So
gas masks.
what's really interesting is, I said before, Jack's really flippant. When they're in the bomb site and the Doctor is describing what's happening, and this is plague and the entire human race is doomed, is the first time that Jack stops being flippant about it. And he kind of goes,
Oh, I did that.
Whoops a daisy.
whoops, a daisy.
So I'm not getting paid?
This is probably the first time we go, is Captain Jack, he's not the best, like, if he was the Doctor, not ideal, because he just is too headstrong, just goes straight into it.
Yeah, he's too Star Trek. He's
Yeah.
too Star Trek. But he's good. They're good together. But
But
yeah.
I am glad he got his own spin-off because, so good.
I love him. I love him. Okay, zombie army is closing in on the Scooby Gang and Nancy, who's part of the Scooby Gang now.
For this episode.
This is the most amount of times that I've heard the word Scooby Gang. Even over how many times Adam used to say
It's just I just don't want to keep saying the Dr. Rose and Jack.
There you go.
Dr.
That's why
Rose
we
and
use
Jack.
Scooby Gang.
I thought it
That's
was
from-
because there were
Jack.
masks in this episode. I thought that was a joke. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for these pesky nanogenes.
But it's a term from Buffy, basically. They used to call themselves the Scooby Gang.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's just easier than having...
stuck.
The more people they put in the TARDIS, the easier it is to say Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
The easier it is to dance, the more
You
people
could
are in
call them the
TARDIS.
Hoobie Gang.
The Foobie Gang.
Oh, the
Hoobie
Hoobie
Gang.
Gang.
Hoobie
Hoobie
Gang.
Gang.
All right, they're now the Hoobie
Hoobie
Gang.
Gang.
What? So you make a suggestion and it's Hoobie Gang. I say Hoovers and no. It's not.
No. We can be Whoovers and Shakers.
No.
Hoovers and Shakers.
Look, it's nothing personal. Kira just comes up with good ideas.
Yeah, and she's really funny. You know.
That's debatable, isn't it, really?
Well-
I feel like you've definitely brought your A game, and I'm bringing, like, my C to Z game at best.
I don't have a husband who's telling me I'm not funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, he
true.
says
Yeah, might
she's
wanna get
I'm
rid of
gonna
that.
beat him up.
Maybe he's onto something.
He thinks you're funny, just maybe not to everyone else.
Just not
Yeah.
to other people.
Is it gaslighting you?
Don't.
Look, I think you're funny, but I just don't think anyone else would think you're funny.
That sounds like my ex-husband. Oh, well, I think you're attractive, but
Other people.
other people don't.
And how wrong he was.
That's what my ex-girlfriend, when I said, are you attracted to me? And she goes, well, I'm not dating you for your body. Okay, brilliant, cool.
Did you push her down a flight of stairs?
No,
Oh, no, I don't advocate.
no.
Wow, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant
She was
you
in
know.
the UK cheating on me, so we both got ours, you know. Oh.
Yeah, okay,
You were
good.
so a white bedsheet sort of person. Did you push him down a flight of stairs?
Yeah,
Into
I'm
a white bed
monster,
sheet, which
but
you then...
I'm openly a piece of shit. That's fine.
I'm closetly like a piece
Right,
of shit.
yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like I'm friends. I'll assist you.
I'm a
Don't
piece
cross
of
me.
shit, and then you find out that I'm kind of okay.
we
Yeah.
could run the world.
I think we could in our mum jeans.
Yeah.
band. Yeah,
Hey, I've heard that song. I know that girls can run the world.
Who run the world, girls?
but not really
Now,
because of the patriarchy.
did anyone know that setting 2428D on the sonic screwdriver reattaches barbed wire?
Can I ask why that's a setting? Why is that a setting?
Just for this
Specific.
one episode?
Yeah,
that's it.
wouldn't that just be a solder iron of like just put two bits of thing
And then
together,
just
you
solder
know,
it.
like
Well, the Sonic does that. God, Adam.
It is a
You
solder.
nerd.
So, yeah.
It's a catch-all for everything.
what I'm saying is I want a full list of all the features.
All right. Finally, the Doctor realizes Nancy is Jamie's mother.
Now this is when I started crying.
So
this is
lovely.
I
I
did.
thought it was so beautiful.
As mother and child embrace, the nanogenes cleverly use Nancy as a
I am your
template.
mummy. I am.
I am. And they fix Jamie. And then Jack redeems himself by stopping the German bomb that was supposed to drop on the space junk. But he's got it too late, and he's got to take it into his spaceship, and he's going to die.
Can I just say that at the end of this
ready to
episode,
explode.
there's so many good lines. Like when the Doctor goes, "There isn't a little boy on Earth who wouldn't
Tear the world
tear the
apart.
world apart to get to them, to save their mummy." You know,
Yeah.
it's good writing,
I
fucking
know,
great
it's
writing. I love it.
Fantastic. Jack says goodbye to Rose while riding a huge bomb. Very sexual.
Very, very Doctor
And
Strangelove.
apparently I couldn't find it, but the words Schlechter Wolf, roughly translated as bad wolf, are on the bomb. They did find a German World War II plane that crashed. I was talking to an aviation guy and it had some writing inside it, and they wanted to get it translated, and they translated it, and it was something like Foreman Schmidt is a wanker, pretty much. So someone in the factory just... that just made me laugh.
Your guy's very funny, okay? Look, we're going to drop the bomb, but you don't have to make fun of me as well.
Du Bost ist ein Arschloch.
The problem is that's as rebellious as they could get. Because
Yeah.
if he actually, because that got destroyed
Yeah.
in his mind,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
couldn't do that to your actual
Foreman
boss.
Schultz is a wanker. Something like that.
Haha,
It's
look
quite
at what
funny.
I wrote. You wrote Hitler is great.
Guys, I'm
I know.
very funny.
It's meant to be like a joke or something.
it's like ironic, I think.
I'm going to
Yeah.
get killed? Yes, I'm going to get killed, yeah.
I love the Everybody Lives.
Ah.
He sends
just this
the
once.
software
Just this once.
update.
Everybody lives, Rose.
Yep. And one lady grows her leg back.
Could you have forgotten? Yeah.
Is it possible you miscounted?
We are on rationing. I did love
Let me try
that.
again. 1, 2.
Yes. Pretty sure I had one. And I just love that he's so excited. Everybody lives. The only thing I hope is that Nancy doesn't have some rare disease, or she's pregnant, or she's got gonorrhea, because everyone's got it now.
No.
I did think
all the
about
guys come up and they're like, "Oh, I've got a uterus now. What do I do with that?"
What's this itch? Can we? Yeah. I actually, what I liked about it was that so all of the information was there, but I kind of felt like it was a big finger up to every teacher who ever said, "Show you're working," and took away points for it, because I feel like he just kind of got to the conclusion really quickly and was like, "Oh, so this is what's going on, and then this, and then this." but there was no working.
Did you think that it was a cheat, or did it seem organic?
All of the information was there once I'd thought about it, but it kind of came out of nowhere. Oh, and then this is what's... And I'm like, hang on. And I was like, oh, right.
Yeah. Like, they didn't need to explain that. They could have they just said it to you, and
then you have to work. Yeah.
But does that mean the nanogenes are still floating around everywhere?
Yeah, we left that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they all dead now.
Okay, well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
He says it.
Convenient death.
Kira killed them.
So we don't think, even though we grew back
rifle.
everyone's limbs, that they still have the power to speak through a speaker grill or...
No, I think they all look like Jamie and Nancy now, whereas before they looked like Chula people. I don't know. God.
But I would like to see an episode where it's just like the descendants of those people and they have like mysterious powers.
Well, there's your fan fiction.
But they just brushed past it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just him.
Yeah.
He can just speak through speakers. He's always been able to make monkey symbol guys talk.
Imagine your one-legged mum coming home. Mum, where'd you get your
They
other
all
leg?
inherit one specific little thing, but it's not even like for all like objects. It's just like one can just make the monkey speak, and I don't know. I've always these specific monkey toys. I've always been able to.
I've just always been able to.
Yeah.
I like
that's
it's
like-
a thing.
It's all related to legs, so she's like, my leg grew back. Another guy goes, I've got an extra leg. Yeah, we've all got extra legs. Oh, shit.
You dickheads. Doctor and Rose return to the TARDIS, and the Doctor is having the best time of his life. And apparently he knows what Rose got for Christmas when she was 12. Kind of hints as if he had something to do with that. Yeah. What, has he been stalking her for that long? I thought that was a bit creepy.
I think it's supposed to be insinuated that he's Santa Claus.
Yeah. And then later on, when he meets Santa Claus as the grumpy doctor, he doesn't believe in him. So it's all very weird. But I just enjoy... just the pure jubilance of his everybody lives.
And then he got to dance as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
So probably the only time the Doctor dances is when everyone lives.
Yes.
I forgot dances are sex.
So he gets a boner.
He gets a
When
boner.
people live.
He gets a boner, and the only way he
Really
knows how to
gets
do
a
it is
boner.
to dance.
Yeah.
Really saving people's.
Yes. Oh, I'm right into that. Everybody lives.
Okay, Jack is
Sorry.
resigned to his fate. Oh, no, you're right. You
As the watcher.
must wander off. He's resigned to his fate, orders an emergency protocol 147, a martini, with too much vermouth. Jack is going to drink to his own death and go out with a bang, reminiscing about the time he got it on with two of his executioners.
Yes.
That is so
They kept in touch.
The line where he's talking to the computer and he goes, hey, see if I come back here again.
Yeah.
Like that encapsulates how charismatic
I like how
John Barrowman
he
is.
talks about seeing the executioners again.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
is like you don't usually have that
cute,
in
cute
execution.
couple. You don't get that from
I love that. You said
executioners.
you just don't get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kept
Like,
in touch.
that scene is just, he is so charismatic.
He is. He's lovely. And then cue the faint sound of vintage swing music from afar. The TARDIS has come to save Jack. He walks into the TARDIS to find the Doctor and Rose dancing. Rose asks if Jack would like to cut in and also dance. The Doctor, amused to have an openly not straight companion, wonders which of the two of them Jack would actually like to dance with. And I did like that. But who would he dance with?
Both at the same time.
Both.
Hi, Mickey. I've got some stuff to explain. A lot of stuff to explain.
I like that Jack says when he walks into the TARDIS, bigger on the inside, and the Doctor says, you'd better be. And I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, because what he's saying is
like
there
a
better be
threat to
more to
his
you
person.
than
Yeah.
what we can see.
Ah.
That's right at the end. I really liked that. And also, when you get a close-up of the Doctor's feet in the TARDIS dancing, it's not actually him, it's somebody else.
Ah.
What?
It's not Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, I don't know
So
whether
Christopher Eccleston looks like a emaciated prisoner when naked and also can't dance. So what a catch,
do
baby.
they have a stunt dancer?
Well, it's they just tell me it's somebody else's feet, so...
That's
So he
Yeah.
actually can't dance.
Well, it didn't say not because he can't dance, it just said... Well,
because he doesn't want to dance.
Yeah.
He's
I
from
can
that
dance if I want
footloose
to.
town, and he's
Don't
got
worry,
guns.
Christopher. I'll
John
dance with
Lithgow.
Rose for you.
Costs extra for him to dance.
He's John Lithgow and he doesn't dance. The gas masks are made out of cans of baked beans because they tried to find authentic World War II gas masks, and guess what they're made of?
Baked beans.
Asbestos.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So they had to make them. So I thought they did a really good job
Yeah.
with them.
Wow, so everyone lives, but they will die of
But they
cancer.
will get asbestos, some sort of asbestos disease. This is the first episode to experience no deaths, but I still think it's the scariest.
So my question is, what did Jamie die of?
He was hit by the bomb.
So he was blown up.
No. Well, not by the bomb.
It.
He was under the space junk. So he had all the injuries that everyone else has got is what Jamie had. Massive head trauma, hardly anything left.
But Jack says that he programmed it so it wouldn't hit something that was alive.
Yeah, but it did.
I thought the insinuation was that Jamie was already dead when it landed, and it found his body and then brought him back to life.
Oh, I don't know. I always thought it...
Because otherwise it makes no sense.
Jamie got hit by a bomb and then the thing landed... nearby and he was the first thing.
Because otherwise there's no point having that line where Jack says, I programmed it to make sure it doesn't hit something that's alive. And the reason it hit Jamie is because he's not alive.
And they all have vitals, don't they? They're all dead.
Yeah,
they've got no signs of life.
They did also mention that it was fused to his face, which you would think would be a bomb, because of the explosion, and we know for a fact that
But if it was a bomb, he would be... I don't want to be too morbid, but he would be in little pieces.
Yeah, so he must have been... I mean, some bombs didn't explode.
Yeah, true.
I just always imagine... I don't know.
And it could have been just outside of the... enough to have been thrown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Injured.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And the heat from it.
Because initially I thought he must have been hit by it, but then when Jack says that line... I made sure to program it so it doesn't hit something living.
So it was nearby.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought Jack had screwed up.
Yeah, again, because he's real pretty, but not brown.
Yeah.
So
I can believe that.
I'm not real smart, but I look good. There is an episode where Jack is completely naked, and then he pulls a gun out, and they go, "Where'd you get that gun?" And he goes, "You don't want to know."
What episode is this?
It's the
later this season.
Later this season, the final two.
So is that just you two going, watch the season?
Isn't it Bad Wolf?
It's Bad Wolf. Yeah, it's two episodes
It's either
away.
Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways, one of them.
Originally in the script, Jamie's father was going to appear in the story as a mute and shadowy figure who helped the orphans find good places for food. It would eventually be revealed that he was German, which is why he needed to stay mute and out of sight, because obviously Germans weren't very popular back then.
But that got cut out. I think that was in the original one that Russell T. Davies gave, and then...
Is it just too much storyline?
Yeah,
well, you don't need everybody, do you? One of the things that I read, that the episode is pretty much Stephen Moffat's love letter to shipping, and a manifesto on how he refuses to see the Doctor as asexual. So a lot of fans want the Doctor to be asexual. And classic Who, he was asexual. But, now we know he does a little bit of tonsil hockey.
Yeah,
a bit of tonsil hockey, bit of dancing. It also marks the start of the Doctor Who TV series being completely inclusive of LGBTQI culture, which the novels had already been doing since the late 90s. So there you go.
Yep.
Good things to know.
And as I said before, Captain Jack becomes one of the most popular characters in the whole Doctor Who fandom. They will never recast Captain Jack.
No.
John Barrowman is perfect, and oh my god, he's such an amazing person as well. Like loves going to conventions. We'll put on a full show. Like, we'll do a performance. We'll go off, get changed, come back on.
Beautiful singing voice.
Just such a professional. And we'll talk to fans, and he's such an amazing person.
This is what I like about the fandom. It always seems to be very inclusive. I think that probably you saying that in the writing, really, really early stages, was inclusive of that particular community. It's probably why they gravitate to it so much now.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
It could be, and it's just... I don't know, I mean, you look back on the 70s, 80s, 60s, and everyone's white, in Doctor Who, but that was a representation on television at the time, too. Not good it's not good, but that's just what it was. But I really like that Doctor Who grabbed it and went with it and was doing it in the novels really early.
Not to mention, sci-fi in general has always been a very... sci-fi tends to push forward a lot more than other genres. I think it's just the nature of sci-fi being like, we want to look forward to something, and because of that, like, even Star Trek had the first interracial couple.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
It's
and
just
that was
that,
huge.
It's just the nature of
that. Of course, was Kirk.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. And of course they were being controlled because you couldn't have them in love.
No, they couldn't actually
attracted to each other naturally.
It's ridiculous.
And later on, in a couple of seasons away from this, we have a gay female couple. One's a woman, a human woman, and the other's a
puddle,
a Silurian. Even that one. I was talking about the Silurian.
The
Jenny and
Madame Vastra.
Madame Vastra, and then obviously in one of the most recent seasons, we have Bill Potts, who's a openly gay woman, who falls in love with a woman, a puddle who turns into fuel. Look, it all gets very confusing.
It
but,
makes sense when you watch it. I want to finish with this. Sixth Doctor Colin Baker has said that in his opinion, these episodes are the best Who stories ever filmed. This becomes even more notable when you realise that elements of this story, notably the creepy child in pursuit of his lost parent, share similarities with the Big Finish audio novel The Holy Terror, a story that writer Stephen Moffat called his favourite Sixth Doctor story ever.
Oh, a lot
I've
of
never
love
seen
between
it.
the two of them.
Yeah, Stephen Moffat loves Doctor Who. But yeah, everyone who says that they don't like Moffat can fall downstairs.
Moffat.
I've expressed why I don't like parts of Moffat when he takes over the show, but I have admitted that from the episodes we've watched, and let's not preempt stuff, but
yeah,
actually let's just, that's the end of the episode. As we always like to do, we like to score out of 5, so you can give the 2 episodes the same score, or you can give them separate scores, however you like.
It's kind of hard. I haven't really seen that many Doctor Who
Yeah.
episodes.
No, just base it around like how much you enjoyed the episode.
and also, I mean, you've watched other shows, so just in general. Don't compare it to Married at First Sight, because it's a bit different to that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Just a little, Kira, that was for you, because, I know how you are with your...
Oh my! I actually don't watch reality TV.
No, I know.
So that hurts deep.
I live it.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
that's right. I am drama. I don't need it in my life.
Let me tell you about another incident that happened to me in a bathroom. Oh my god.
I'll keep that one on lockdown.
Yeah.
It's been interesting with this season because we've gone back to this season and watched it, and it doesn't hold up as well as we thought it did. But these 2 episodes, oh my god, it's like, oh, thank fuck. Yeah. There are actually some good episodes that I remember in this season. And I love Captain Jack. I love Are You My Mummy? I love the cat, And it's like I've said before. It's interesting that I keep saying, I didn't like Stephen Moffat running the show, but then a lot of the episodes that I really love are written by him.
My Moffat, yeah.
But it does feed into that idea that he writes great single episodes, but he doesn't write great story arcs,
Well, he takes leaps, doesn't he? Stephen Moffat, he's quite eccentric in his writing, I think. Like the nano genes. He doesn't worry about that stuff to go back and tidy that up. So sometimes people go, there's a big plot hole here. And...
Well, and then it does take Russell T Davies taking Captain Jack and what he does to him later on the season, and then therefore setting up Torchwood and that sort of thing. So it's a bit of back and forth.
What's interesting is that 2 of my favourite characters, Captain Jack and River Song, both introduced by Stephen Moffat.
He's really good at character writing, character arcs, and motive, and all that sort of stuff. Probably overarching themes. It does seem a little bit sporadic.
Yeah,
but it's more like I prefer this type of writing when the plot is driven by the characters' motives, as opposed to there's a plot here and we have to fit them into that sort of. Yeah, I think it's more organic, and that's why we love the characters so much more in these episodes, because they seem more genuine, and it's because they're driving it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely.
And I was actually surprised when I started watching the episode and realised Stephen Moffat had written it, because I thought Russell T Davies had written these 2 episodes, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, amazing. Yeah, so I'm going to give 2 5s.
Wow.
Not my favourite episode that we've reviewed, A Christmas Carol, which is also a Stephen Moffat episode. Yeah,
had some problematic things.
Understandable.
Woman
but
being
if you
held
look
hostage.
at it, anyway, if you look at it from a love point of view, it's a lovely story.
Yeah.
From a male point of view, oh god, I'm getting a whole
male
big
point
intro.
of
No,
view.
well, look, the first time I saw it, I really liked it. But then when we did a review, and I went, oh, this is a bit problematic. And then we had Simone on and she's going, excuse me. She was calling out the bullshit, which was great.
Love it.
So yeah, two 5s from me.
Because I have
So it's from 1 to 5, by the way. Yeah.
Right. Because I have no points of comparison, I really enjoyed it. I went into it not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
Whether I would enjoy it, how easy it was going to be to watch. I loved it. Was really keen for the second episodes. Cool. Yeah. I'm also not a very critical person either. I'm very supportive and positive. So I'm like, yeah, definitely 2 5s. 2 5s.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because you
Go
said
team.
5s, and I was like, oh, that's not even 10.
No,
Yeah,
from 1
sorry.
to 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
1 to
that makes
5.
more sense. I definitely go, probably first episode was a 4, mainly because, and this is hard for a first episode of a 2-parter, it wasn't complete. There was a lot of me, but by the end of the episode, I was still a little bit like, what's going on?
Oh.
And because the reveal is at the end, of course.
Yeah.
And there was just a big part of my brain going, zombie people, and I understand, it was good writing, and I knew it was leading somewhere, but I couldn't see it, and it was frustrating me.
Oh, really?
So in
Because
the-
you couldn't see where it was going.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who get really annoyed at, don't throw too many things at me and expect me to just go along with it. You've got to explain yourself.
Oh, okay.
So I really did. I enjoyed it because the characters were lovable, and I felt like I was thrown into the Doctor Who universe, so this is my first experience of 2 episodes together. The first episode, I was very much like, oh god, this is going somewhere, I just don't know where it is.
Yeah.
I hope it's somewhere good. Then the second episode, the payoff is there.
Yeah.
That's a 5 for me. So individually, the first episode, only because I didn't know where it was going, I was getting annoyed, was a 4. But 5, definitely.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I gave it the benefit of the doubt of like, oh, well, they'll solve all this in the second one. If they hadn't have solved everything, then the second episode would have been
that would. I hate it when you've got a good first episode and they don't pay off in the second, and you 100%. Go, what was the point?
So, like, together they'd be a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there were little bits and pieces in 4, like, when he started talking to the cat randomly, and I didn't understand, I don't know the characters, so I was a little bit like, what? That's weird.
See, I enjoy, like, it was so camp.
Yeah,
it was fun. I really enjoyed that, and just the weird little moments. I'm like, that's I'm very is it tangential? Like, so I like to go off on tangents myself. I'm like, that's good. Yeah, sure. Doesn't make any sense, but I'm into it. Sorry, I'll leave forward
like,
for that one.
I definitely talk to a cat.
I'm into it. Yeah.
And Nicchia?
Moisturise me. Sorry? I thought it was fantastic. I am the same as you. We started watching these and I'm going, oh my God, how did I think this was fantastic? But I did in 2005. And then we got to this one and I thought, I think I remember liking this. And then I knew it was a Moffat one and I loved it. I loved the dialogue. What I love the most about him, and I think Russell T Davies does it, but I think Moffat does it best. He's got great dialogue. It's clever. It's I love his writing. So look, I'm 2 5s as well.
Awesome. I think that's the highest rated episode ever.
I can't fault it. I could sit down and watch it again right now. And normally after I've watched one, you need a little break.
There were times, and like you said, especially in that first episode, where I was considering giving it a 4, but also the fact how important this episode is for Doctor Who fandom. Are you my mummy? You can say that, like I said before, you can say that to any Whovian and they will know instantly. It could be a meme, basically.
Or any Hoover and Shaker.
Yeah, any Hoover or Shaker. Sorry, I forgot to use the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, no.
And Captain Jack. Captain Jack is the single greatest creation in modern Doctor Who.
Yes.
He's so great because he's so... And it never really occurred to me, but he works so beautifully because he's so Star Trek.
Yeah.
In the middle of campy, eccentric Doctor Who. Yeah. But he is.
And he does seem out of place when he does enter. You're kind of like, this guy is real cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
But then he gets his own spin-off, Torchwood, and it's more adult, and it's like, yes! You don't have to worry about those fucking kids! Captain Jack is just having sex with everyone.
Yeah, he does a lot of having sex.
And
he standing on top
everyone.
of buildings randomly in Torchwood, season 1 anyway.
He looks so good. Awesome. So, Gemma, what movie do you think would be improved by adding the Doctor?
Casablanca.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Just because it's period. But, I also would like the concept of something's being changed or something's being because that is quite I think the campiness of the Doctor would really excel in that sort of environment. The jazz club, I just think that would be a fun
Play it again, Jack.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And then the TARDIS appears, jump in, let's go. You don't have to go visit the Nazis.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's an episode or an episode has done something similar to that already.
That's interesting. I don't think they have actually done a Casablanca
No, I don't think they have. No, they haven't. The Doctor's met the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra and all of those. He married Marilyn Monroe accidentally. And he married Elizabeth I accidentally. So, but he does have a wife.
Married River Song intentionally.
Intentionally. To save the world. So, Kira.
Yes.
If you had to have a Time Lord name, what would your Time Lord name be? What is the word that you think is the essence of who Kira is or who Kira aspires to be?
Oh, the disappointment. As previously mentioned.
So,
is that your name for yourself or your mother's name for yourself?
I think it's everybody's name for me, really. Yeah.
It's inherited.
Yeah.
So, when Kira gets out of the TARDIS, everyone goes, it's not the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, look, I didn't want to mention this before, but I do have to say you haven't been a disappointment as a guest.
Thank you.
But you might find yourself not on this track because we've deleted you. But that's nothing to do with you.
Fun. It's not you, it's us.
Yeah.
We just don't get you.
Yeah.
Gemma,
just don't
however,
think you're
we'll
funny.
talk afterwards.
Yeah.
This is the second podcast I've been banned from.
Oh, I hope he's not
Can't come
talking to you to take over hosting duties, because I've got to watch Adam. Every time younger women come in, I've got to watch. He might throw the old broad over for someone.
Jesus. Yeah, but I'll still ask if we can record here.
Yeah. That's cruel, isn't it? Right?
But if you don't like me, he won't have me. That's the key.
I like that.
It's a good fail-safe.
Mummy, do you agree? Do you like her?
Nicchia, off the podcast, but can we still use your place?
The relationship behind the podcast is real fucked up. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues going on.
I was wondering why you were holding hands the podcast the whole time, actually. Can we address that?
Never.
We never speak about it. We don't want David to know. My David.
That's why we talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, all the time. Because he thinks if we talk about it, we're not doing it.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
And then if he sees it in real life, it's like a continuation of the joke.
We're just joking.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. It's just a silly joke.
We'd also like to take the time to call out a review we've had, Shane Dallymore. Thank you, Shane. Here's Shane's review. He said, always worth a listen. He's a clever man, that Shane, I tell you. Often rude.
Correct.
But well worth signing up to.
Oh, thanks, Shane.
Isn't that nice?
Gave us a sandwich, a compliment sandwich.
Sandwich.
He's in management, I think. Yeah.
He did a little kiss.
He's HR for sure.
Yeah.
A little kiss, a little kick, a little kiss. I like that. And of course, we're not rude, we're salty. I like to use the term salty.
Yar.
Do you guys have anything that you'd like to plug?
Oh, I have a podcast also.
Yes, it's a really good one.
Is it? Oh, thank you.
It's funny. I love it.
It is. It's not for the faint-hearted or the easily offended.
That's why I love it.
It sounds like fun.
It is Show Us Your Tips, so YER Tips.
Oh, that's like
and it's me and Jasmine Fairbairn. Fairbairn. Beautiful Canadian goddess.
And has been on the show, friend of D4WH.
And Jemma.
You can catch me on any socials, that Jemma Bayley. Sorry, that Jemma Bayley, I recently changed it.
As always, all in, the last Friday of every month.
And as always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit my website, thenerdinfinite.com. D4WH is on Facebook. Give a page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D4WHpod. We'll post questions and polls and would love your input and feedback. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook, and follow us on Podbean. We are also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Tell your friends about us, and if you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who shirt, politely go up to them and suggest our podcast. Get the word out. Our two suggestions are a dentist and bear trap. Ooh, interesting. Get the word out. You might be visiting the dentist. It's been a while, but you're apprehensive about what work they're going to need to do
one likes the dentist.
On your teeth. So they sit you down, they open up your mouth, and out of your mouth comes this beautiful words, but it's like a radio coming through your. It's your braces. They're transmitting D4WH into the dentist office. Oh, how wonderful! And everyone's dancing, having fun. Dancing. Yeah. It's the best time you've ever had at the dentist. And then on your way home, you get eaten by a bear trap. So look, it's all swings and roundabouts, guys.
How you get eaten by a bear trap is beyond me, but still.
No, when I say bear trap, I mean a trap set by a bear. And the bear eats you.
Yeah, I like that. The bear goes,
it's just a rope. This bear's like
the bear with his mouth open
going,
going,
I got ourselves a picnic basket, otherwise known as a person.
This is adult Yogi Bear.
Adult Yogi Bear.
A boo-boo. I like that.
Yogi Bear, but Torchwood.
Torchwood Yogi Bear. Oh my God.
Or the Saw version.
And then he fucks you.
Yeah. And he's a bear.
And
that's
like
buggery.
large, hairy gay men like him.
Full circle.
We have written this fan fiction. It's going to earn as much as 50 Shades of Grey.
We have a lot of T-shirts to work on now to put out.
Yes.
And a lot of underpants to sell.
A lot of underpants to
I
sell.
know we did the plug, but there's another one.
Everybody leave yours at the door on your way out. You get a plastic bag.
As usual. With your name on it.
We'll give you a hospital gown to leave in so we can sell all your clothes.
Go home, Commando.
No, go home, Captain.
We're just doing that walk of shame, just holding our shoes on the way out. Like, wow, I heard the podcast.
I'm not ashamed
did you have
by
a big
anything.
night?
So I just do the walk.
Just do the walk.
Whatever, yeah. Just
you do moonwalk out of there.
The walk of shame. I love that.
Until next time, keep searching the skies for the Doctor.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?